All right, so we're just continuing our discussion of the different units and doing dimensional analysis, which is going to encompass most of what we talk about in this section right here. This time, instead of length, like we did in the previous section, we're going to talk about area and volume and different conversions between that. So here are some English system or the US system units for area. Square inches and acres, property is measured in acres, square miles. And so all we're going to do the first couple problems is we're just going to be practicing our dimensional analysis. Okay, it's absolutely no different of a process when you're dealing with area and volume as opposed to length. Okay, the process doesn't change at all. So here we go. I'm going to convert in this example 75,000 acres to square miles. So 75,000 acres to square miles. I am fortunately given a direct conversion. So here we go. I've got 75,000 acres. I'm told in the box that 640 acres is 1 square mile, which I'm going to write as the abbreviation. Just like before, I've started with acres. I want that to go away. So I'm going to put the 640 in the denominator and then the 1 square mile in the numerator. So again, my acres cancel. That is my goal. And now the numbers tell me to go ahead and divide. So 75,000 divided by 640, and that turns out to be 117.1875. I'm just going to round to the tenths place. Again, just make sure when you do your homework on the test, I will make sure to be specific for you. On homework, just follow the instructions given. And there we go, 117.2 square miles. All right, so you do the same thing, please. Convert in the next one 100,000 square miles back into acres. Right, so I'm going to start off with 100,000 square miles, and I'm converting this to acres. Again, we're given the direct conversion. I'm going to give you the conversions when I ask you to do the dimensional analysis. You don't have to memorize these things. And so 1 square mile, according to my chart, is equal to 640 acres. I forgot the R. I totally spelled that wrong. Let's try it again. There we go. And so when I do that, that's 640 times 100,000. So that's 640 and then 5 more zeros. And so that is going to be 64 million acres. Just straightforward dimensional analysis. In fact, that's going to continue happening. Now we're converting between the English and the metric system like we just did for length. Okay, so in the metric system, the area units are hectares is kind of the main one, but they also use square meters or square kilometers. So again, you're just converting between the different ones. Why don't you go ahead? I know it's example 2, but I think once we've got dimensional analysis, we're pretty set. Do example 2. Convert 7 hectares, which is the metric unit, into acres, which is the English or the US unit. All right, so the box tells me the abbreviation for a hectare is HA, so I'm going to use that. So we've got 7 hectares, and now I'm converting this into acres. And so this conversion says 1 acre is 0.4 hectares. So that I'm going to put the 0.4 in the bottom. My pen just ran out of ink, so I'm going to put the 0.4 down at the bottom. Again, because I started with hectares, I want those to go away. And so that is equal to 1 acre. And so when I do that division, 7 divided by 0.4 turns out to be 17.5 acres. Are we still doing okay? All we've done is change the units, just making sure you're familiar with the process. But again, once you know the process, once you feel comfortable with that, doesn't matter what the units are at all. So exercise 2, you're just doing the reverse of that. You're going from acres to hectares. Okay, so we start off with 3 acres. Again, the conversion that we just used is that in 1 acre, there is 0.4 hectare. And now I put the acres in the bottom because I started with those and I want those to cancel out. And then 3 times 0.4 is going to be 1.2. One more, and then we'll turn the page and see what surprises await us there. So convert 500 square feet into square meters, please. And so 500 square feet, the conversion from the top is that 1 square foot is equal to 0.09 square meters. I put the square feet in the bottom because that's what I started with, and that's what I want to cancel out. And then 500 times 0.09 is going to be 45. So again, just pretty straightforward dimensional analysis, just with these different and maybe unfamiliar units. So now I'm turning the page. Now we're turning our attention to volume. And again, the top chart there is the English system measures of volume. So we've got pints and quarts and gallons, how we buy milk, how we tend to cups. A lot of, if you like to bake, you're probably familiar with this. So go ahead, exercise 4, convert 25,000 fluid ounces into gallons, please. So the conversion here between fluid ounces and gallons is that there's 128 fluid ounces in a gallon. So I'm going to put the 128 in the denominator because that's what I want to cancel is the fluid ounces in 1 gallon. Just to give you an idea, your typical can of Coke is 12 fluid ounces. So that's kind of the size of the dimension we're looking at. So I've got 25,000 divided by 128, and that is 195.3125. So I'm just going to call that 195.3 gallons. All right, one more. 50 gallons, you're converting that to pints. How many pints is that? All right, so I was mean on this problem. I didn't give you one that has a straight conversion. So I have to convert gallons into something else. And the way I know that is I don't have the up here in the chart. I don't have something that relates gallons to pints as far as so I can see. So I do see that I have basically I've do I have two choices here to do this? No, I mainly have one choice. I'm going to convert my gallons into here we go. I'm going to convert my gallons into quarts, and then my quarts into pints is going to be what I have, my relationships. There are other ways to do the problem. Again, if you got your phone, you can Google. You just can't use your phone on the test. You have to use what I give you on the test. So 50 gallons, I'm going to convert that from 1 gallon is 4 quarts. The gallons are now gone. I have quarts, but I don't want quarts. I want pints. And so now I have 1 quart is 2 pints. And you can kind of see right there the goofiness of the English or the US system. There's no straight, nothing is uniform is the word that I'm looking for there. So I have 50 times 4, that's 200 times 2 more, that is 400 pints is how much 50 gallons is. All right, we're approaching our stopping point. We're going to get to the end of this page, and then that's going to be a great place for us to take a breather, and we'll finish up the rest in the next video. So the last thing I just want to mention here is just like we talked about for length, the metric system unit for length was meter. For volume, the metric unit is what's called the liter. As far as how large is a liter, the best two examples I can give you to get a little bit of a picture is soda comes in 2 liter bottles, so that's 2 liters. Or the little water bottle that when you buy Zephyr Hills or whatever your favorite brand is, that's half a liter. It's so that 2 of those would be a full liter if you bought a bigger bottle at the convenience store or something like that. So that's the approximate size of a liter. So the last couple problems, we're just going to do a couple quick conversions, and that'll be a great place to stop. So what I'd like you to do is convert 4 gallons. Okay, so if you have 4 gallons of milk in your fridge, how many liters of milk is that? Well, this is a straight one-to-one conversion. If I start off with 4 gallons, then I have the conversion that 1 gallon is 3.8 liters. So I'm going to have 1 gallon is 3.8 liters. I'm just going to use the letter L. I should have mentioned that the abbreviation for liter is an L. I'll use a curvy L so it doesn't look like an I. So you can have milliliters or centiliters or kiloliters. That's how the metric system works, is you put a prefix in front of it. So I've got 3.8 liters is equal to 1 gallon. I put the gallons in the bottom so that they will cancel out. And when I multiply 4 times 3.8, I get that is equal to 15.2 liters. All right, last problem for the day. If you have a 12 fluid ounce can of soda, how many milliliters is that? All right, so to finish this out here, we've got 12 fluid ounces. Oops, wrong pen. I've got 12 fluid ounces, and I want to convert that into milliliters. And so I have the direct conversion up here in the box that 1 fluid ounce is 30 milliliters. So 1 fluid ounce, I put that in the denominator because I started with fluid ounces. I want to get rid of them, is equal to 30 milliliters. So ml, there's my metric prefix milli in front of my liter. And so now the fluid ounces cancel. And I got 12 times 30. That's approximately 360 milliliters is how many milliliters is in your 12 ounce can of Coke.